I'm sorry, it should not be parent. Previous, I guess. And I want $this to be removed too. Okay, I want the previous one to be removed. I want, instead of previous, let me use the closest instead of, okay. I guess find, then find the closest, what you call, address. Let's see. Add this. Oh, maybe there's an error. Let me say find and working. Find. Okay, this is dot class. So I'll refresh this. I'll say it's a remove. Okay, let's see what the problem. Okay, right here. Dot remove dot find. So what is that? Input address. It's a run. Syntax error dot remove dot find. Okay. You can run your jQuery commands here too. Okay, it's a console. So yeah, this has found me something. See, it gave me nothing, because that means it says nothing has been found. So what I can really do is, okay, let me do this. Div. Okay, and I'll write a div here. This solves my all problems. Okay, so here what I do is, instead of all this crap here, I'll say parent. So this means find the parent here. Okay, the parent here. I'll refresh this. The parent here is this entire div. Let me show you guys. So you see here, div. So this is the div here, and this is the remove here. So the parent to this is div. It's inside the div. So it is, when I hover on this, that's the entire parent. When I say remove, it removed everything. Now I'll add, and I'll say remove. You see there? So it's removing the entire div, which is its parent. So that's the power of this remove parent. So I remove this. I'll start removing everything. Remove, remove, remove. Alright, any questions? Now I'll stop here. So if you guys have any questions, I'll answer these questions. Any questions? Remove. It's all about practice, practice, practice. The amount of practice you do, the more expert you become in jQuery, and jQuery is very, 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 very important wherever you go. So parent, so we have learned, I'll write down what we learned here. So parent is nothing but the node which is just above this particular selector. Okay, and remove will delete the node. Okay, and on is very important. So remember, now onwards you guys are not writing dot click. You're always writing dot on, the click, and the thing. And if you guys can spot it out in, the hash here. Okay, let me do this small experiment. So I'll say whenever somebody clicks on remove, let it go to tutoslive.com, www.tutoslive.com. Okay, and I'll comment this event.prevent HTML, and let's see. I'll refresh this. I'll add lines here. Okay, and I click. Just watch this. Is the screen share on? Okay. Watch this. I'll say remove. Where does it go? It takes me to tutoslive.com, because the href is written like such. Okay. Now I'll remove this prevent default, and I refresh. I'll add my address lines. and I'll say remove. It just removes. It's not going to tutoslive.com. It's cutting out the default action and does what I really tell it. You see, it removed everything. And I'll say add. I'll say add. It keeps on adding. I'll say remove. It keeps on removing. Removes. Yes. Any questions here? So how many methods we have finished here? We have finished click. These two are there. We have clicked on, and yeah, and what else? I've seen append, I'm sorry. We have seen HTML and remove, and we have seen parent too. So parent is important too. Parent, closest, find. You'll find all these things on jQuery.com website. All you gotta do is like go to API documentation and see whatever the method. You go and see the method over there, click on it, see the documentation. It does all the work. So whatever I'm telling here, they are really important. So we use them in the day-to-day designer life or developer life. Right? Any questions? So I'll increase the class time here for another half an hour. You guys okay with it? Or shall I just end it? I know you guys are okay with it. So yeah, click. Any questions? Any topics, Sandeep? Any questions? No problem. Shoot it out. It may be any sort of question. You can ask even what is your age? That's a question too. Right. Which part? Tell me which part. For Sandeep, it's dot click and dot on from default action. Okay. Fine. So dot click is dot click. So it tells what should happen when somebody clicks on anything. So the first part is this. So if I click on button, okay, what it is doing is, this is the thing which is actually doing. It's appending a text. So what is that text? The text is nothing but this piece of string. So every time I click on the button, it appends this particular text. So that is what click is. Now that's okay. That's absolutely working fine. So I can show you guys here. So it is working. Whenever I click the text. Okay. Now whenever I click on remove is again an action. So now the next part is this particular part. Okay, what this tells the browser is, okay, on we have seen when we use directly click, okay, this particular link is added dynamically. Whenever I click on the button, this particular link is getting added. Now when something is added dynamically, and when I try to implement the default events of the DOM, click, change, key press, whatever, they don't work because they are added dynamically. The document does not know about it because they are added dynamically. So to avoid that, to make my action really work, so this is the method. So this method dot on, what it does is, okay, you have added it dynamically, no problem, I'll take care of it. Or did you add it previously? No problem, I'll take care of it. So dot on will take care of. So we need not check for, okay, if this thing added dynamically or if this thing added previously, or if it's there from the start, we don't have to check anything. All you gotta do is like just write, dot on. That's it. And then the next part is, what is the event? What is the event for a link? The event for a link is click. So whenever I click on what? On this selector, which has a class called remove. So since it's a class, it's a dot remove. So what should happen? This is what should happen. So for that, I want to avoid the default action. That's the reason I have given an event there. So whenever you pass this, that means you are avoiding or you are suppressing the default action. So I'm passing the default action here and I'm saying prevent default. Don't do the default action of that particular link. Okay. Then what should I do? I should check the parent. The parent is this particular div here. Check the parent and remove it entirely.